Good morning, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren Firm, and we are so excited because she's been talking to us about how to go from zero to wealth. And she even said we could do it in 6 weeks. So if you missed the other broadcast, you need to go back and watch the replay. Coach Caren is in the studio. We're about to be enlightened. So if you don't have your pencil and paper, run and get it because she's going to be dropping nuggets all morning long. Now, if you're looking for Coach Caren here on the internet, you can find her here on Profits in Daily. She is everywhere. So let's get Coach into the studio. Good morning, Coach Caren. How
Good
are you?
morning.
We got to get you in the position of authority. There you go. We have been following along with all of these nuggets you've been dropping on us about how to go from zero to wealth. And we're excited to get started. I just want to say that Coach Caren has a Facebook page, Instagram, and you can contact her through there. And it's going to be Coach Caren with a C,
Exactly.
Prophecy Daily. And so, without further ado, we're going to hear from Coach Caren all the way from Toronto, Canada. How you doing this morning?
I am well. I am well. Good morning, everybody. I got a cold, so if you
Oh,
see me move away it's because I'm coughing, I
I
allow it.
figured something was going on. Well, you know what? I declare you are healed in Jesus'
Thank
name.
you. That's what I
I don't
did
know,
with
can you
myself.
say that on the air?
That's exactly right. That's right. I'm taking it.
There you go.
Yeah, we're here. We're doing it. It's a
Mm-hmm.
cold.
Mm,
Yeah. Excuse me. So,
mm-hmm.
as Terry said, we started off this month, last month, talking about the 6 weeks wealth creation, and I really want everybody to really start looking at it as a whole. If you only look at it as money, you don't get there. It's not like you can't get there, but it's just harder. You burn yourself out, and you feel like you reach this goal, and then you're like, well, what's next? Like, what else am I supposed to do? But if you're looking into all these different areas, you're building a much wealthier you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Richness
Mm-hmm.
is in your money, la da di da. But you building a wealthier you when you look at these areas. So we first talk about what's in you, like who you truly are. And then last week we talked about creating your work. How are you helping your clients? How are you partnering with them? And what are your gifts? Like, what are you truly your gifts? Now, you don't have to say, I have 10, so I can't tell you one. If you have 10 gifts, I want to clear this up. I want you to
Yes.
not feel afraid to have 10, 20 gifts. I want you to just know this right now. Because what people on the internet, and I'm going to say this because in person it wasn't like this, but on the internet make you feel like because you got 20, you'll be too scattered and you can't do it. It's just a matter of disciplining yourself. That's all. That's just a matter of disciplining yourself. I mean, there are the rowdy schools, and there's people who went to rowdy schools and they still turn out pretty good because they focus and settle themselves in.
Mm.
That's what you got to do. We're on a place where there's a lot of noise. And so everybody's going to come to you telling you all what you can't and cannot do. Your job is to know you well enough to know what you could do and how you could expand yourself into the things that you could do. That's why last week I wanted everybody to really be honest with their gifts because this is really going to tell you and help you establish yourself within those
Mm-hmm.
gifts. Here's the other thing about gifts. Once you honestly know your gifts, those gifts give you more gifts.
That's true.
Once you understand you and you develop your gifts, it gives you more gift. And then before
Mm.
I even get into what I want to talk about, I love stories. I'm going to hit you with a story that happened this week that was so exciting. And I was so excited for the girl. Didn't know her, but was just excited from the story. I'm listening on TikTok, and then I went and dived deeper. She worked at a bank, but she wanted to do hair her whole life. She was about 8 or 9 when she wanted to do hair, and I guess she attended hair shows with her mom and sibling when she was young, and it fascinated her. But she's from the Bahamas, so of course we want our kids to get a high education. So going to university, getting her degree, and doing all those things that look great on paper, even if it wasn't her heart's passion,
Hmm.
satisfied maybe a part of herself, her parents, whomever. But her passion, her gifting, what really was truly her, never died. And so she would do her own hair. She, like me, she did her own hair, and people would admire it, and people would ask her, and she would give them a price, something crazy and outlandish, so that they won't bother her, and they'll say, "When can I book the time?"
Hmm.
They'll pay her. And I'm bringing up the money thing right off the bat because I want you to see how, when you don't doubt yourself, you can be paid really well, and you have
Yes.
no apologies for it. You don't need to apologize for it. You'll be paid well, and you don't have to apologize. And she's been doing it. Her station is in the Bahamas. This young woman travels to the United States, Atlanta, Vegas, Georgia, you name it, she has traveled. Toronto, Trinidad. She goes anywhere where you have to book the time. And if I guess enough people book her, she flies there and spends a week or two and does the amount of people here.
Isn't that beautiful?
This story was
That
so
is
beautiful, I had to share it, Terry. Oh,
that is beautiful because now she's not tethered to a chair at a specific location. She gets to enjoy the hospitality of those who have sent for her. And she knows that the people she's serving are experiencing the joy of her labors.
that's what every
It's,
client said.
it is just, I love it. And I can understand it. I understand it because a lot of times when people are doing special events, they want them to come and do everybody's hair so it looks alike, or just special occasions like graduations, weddings, uh, just all kinds of birthday events, anniversaries, things are going on. And people want that special touch and they want the people around them to look beautiful too. I could see what they would collectively send for her.
Yes.
Let's treat
And
ourselves and just send for our own stylist.
yes, and our hair, if you don't know to handle it, you don't know to handle it. And if you
Mhm.
don't know to handle it, you mess it up. So when you get a girl who can handle our hair and make it look wonderful, no matter how small it is or large it is, she knew what to
Mhm.
do with it, it's a win. And
Yes.
of course, somebody will talk. So a small-minded, a person who do not understand money, who has not been able to receive money, simply said, I would not pay her in advance to to book an appointment.
Okay.
Okay,
Then,
moving
then you
along.
don't then you are not the customer.
You're not the customer. You're not the customer. I learned that when I had my cleaning business young, I was going to appointments and people would book appointments. Sometimes I'm buzzing. They wouldn't let me in to give the estimate. And I came back home after the last appointment and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, Karen, you're never visiting a house to give an estimate again. If it's not on the phone, you're not doing the job. And if they insist you come out, here's the insistent fee. And I give it to people. The people who said yes to the fee, I
Mhm.
went to their place. If they didn't use our services, they paid the fee. And
But
people told me,
have you noticed lately that there is a service fee for them to come out? They tack it on top.
mhm.
It, and I started noticing that like 10 or 15 years ago with plumbers. There was a service fee to come out just to look.
But that's
You know,
because so many people will call us out as a service and then would call like 10 people out. So they have 10 different estimates going on, and then they may hire one of us or they may not even hire anybody. And gas and time, and we start noticing this was ridiculous. And so there's the people who wouldn't pay it, and I didn't argue with them. And they'd call me
mm,
back and say, I said, no, the fee is X amount of dollars, and you can either
yes.
pay it or not. I'm not arguing with you. I just not going to do it. Because especially
Mhm.
I was new in the business. So yeah, over 15 years ago. And I would drive far places because I didn't have a GPS those days, what have you. Just look at the
Yeah.
map and you figure out where you're going and you drive to the place, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're now learning business, you don't realize that you should stay in your region. I learned that after, like driving far, didn't matter how much money they paid us, it wasn't worth it. It needed to stay in this confined
To be
area
profitable,
to be
yes.
profitable. And you know my rule, you got to be profitable. If not, why run this business?
That's right. We're running a profitable
Right?
business that's fun
That's
to
fun
run.
to
That's
run.
that's the
And she's
objective.
having loads of fun. That's why I brought her to the table. She's meeting really great people. She
Mm-hmm.
is booking her ticket. She's not asking you to book her ticket. Her
Mm-hmm.
fee has to include the
The,
ticket, the place
yes.
she's going to stay. Everybody knows this. Nobody's silly. But
And
I
she has to
bring
rent a location. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She's not trying to do it in any hotel room. That's not what the lady's doing. She's not in that. No, she's not trying to hide anything. She's not hiding in a room. She comes, she's set up. You're having an
And
experience.
it's an exclusive
Excuse me.
service
Thank you.
for an exclusive clientele.
Thank you. A few
I
things.
think that we get hung up on the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Say that again, Terry. We get hung up on the
We get
numbers.
hung up on the numbers, you
And
know.
we're not willing to experience it. A few things I heard people say, you're not showing us how you do all the work, you're not showing us how you finish the work. And I thought to myself, but I did not comment, because this was a time to just sit back and hear people comments and
Mm-hmm.
understand where certain things happen. When you're looking at marketing, because I'm always looking at marketing and sales and watching what people do, and I'm thinking to myself, this is not about her showing you how to do your hair. This is her showing you people's experiences. She also offer classes. So if
Mm-hmm.
you really want to learn what she's doing, you can take her
Mm-hmm.
classes virtually or in person. There's people
Mm-hmm.
who is leaving the States, leaving Guyana, leaving Trinidad, and going to the Bahamas to take a class with her. Nothing is wrong with it. I remember a friend of mine wanted to buy a salon from a lady. And the lady said, look, I went with my friend. And she said to my friend, she says, next year, when you buy the salon this year, the following year, I will advise you to take a class at X, Y, and Z. And my friend said to her, is that a reputable school or what have you? And it was an older lady. She probably was in her 70s. She says, it is the best place you will learn what you need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to go with a name brand school, go right ahead. But the care that this school is going to give you, so I asked her to break it down. Like, what do you mean? She says, is an individual who decided to teach how to handle not only extensions, but how to take care of our hair, how to grow it. This woman was so versed in it. The woman started explaining to us that she went to, I don't know which university in the States, but tell them that she could offer this program. They didn't want to allow her to offer the program. They want her to write the program and give it to them, their faculty, and they sell it in the university, wherever this was. And she's decided she's going to open her own. And she's been doing it quietly. And if you know, you know. And if you didn't know, you didn't know. It's not advertised. It's not in a magazine. It goes directly to people who have salons. So you have to be, you have to be invited. You can't just, you have to be invited, invitation only.
Sounds like a plan to me. I, I, I love it. We really have to be careful of people hijacking our intellectual property and reselling it.
And so I told my friend, she says, but kind, I said, it's not sketchy. If for so, you know how many things in this world that we don't know because we don't know, because we're not in the group of people. Why is it okay for anybody else to do it? But because you're thinking and you're hearing that this is private, you're all of a sudden finding out these different things that is not true. So I said to her, why don't we test it out? And so the lady started teaching her after she was buying the salon. The woman started teaching her the techniques that some of the techniques, just the basics. And my friend had a client who was balding, and give you a perfect example. And the woman was saying she didn't know what to do. And she used the technique on the lady's hair. She had that woman for over 5 years as a client after. And I said to her, this is how when you, just as you said, Terry, not let the number throw you off, that it's going to cost you to learn something that is not open into the public. It's so private that I will not discuss it here. I'm just giving reference of this, procedure, because it is private. It costs a lot of money for the people who learn this stuff, and how it would be unfair to me to even talk about it in the fullness. I could brief over it, but
Yes, and basically give away her intellectual property.
yeah, would be wrong of me. And we have to really think about these things. And we are talking about creating wealth, and those are just like a little tiny bit of what you really have to pay attention to. You have to pay attention. People said everything is on the internet. There's no secrets anymore. That's a lie. But okay, the majority of things are there for people to see and to make you believe that everybody knows it. So it's no secret anymore. So you would assume this is true. This is how lies develop itself. It shadows you and it makes you think that, and let me tell you, I love YouTube and it's great, but you can't get everything there. I don't care what you tell me. Google tells you everything, it seems. But if you dig a little deeper, you're seeing that you need more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you take classes for free at a university, you get to a certain point and what happens? If you take Google certifications to write the exam and be able to be employed, you have to pay for the exam.
Yes.
So it is not totally free. Don't fall into that trap.
Well, the thing is, we have to start investing in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about all the money we spend on tuition and classes and mentors and coaches for our children. Can we invest in ourselves? Can we show up for ourselves financially and learn something that we know is going to enhance our future?
Right.
Whether it's just how to treat ourselves better or how to run a better business, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, whatever the need is. So part of that, looking after yourself is, and this was one of the things, when I thought, well, what kind of self-care are you giving to you? What kind of self-care on the road to building your wealth creation are you giving you?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know, you need to stop, pause, and figure it out. You need to write it out again. Get it on a spreadsheet, get it on a Word document, get it on a Google document. I don't care where you put it. What do you do? How you do it? And make sure you give yourself a reward because you have done it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't be rewarded if you didn't do it. So you have to actually do it to reward yourself. So spreadsheet. For me, my self-care calendar says in my washroom, because when I'm going to go to washroom, how many times a day? It's in there. So I can see that I exercise. I can see if I didn't give myself a bubble bath. I can see if I didn't light the candles. It's written there. I can see if I didn't have a pedicure, a facial, like it's there. I can look at any date and see, oh, so Caren, you missed last Sunday bubble bath. Why didn't you do it? And I give myself a little note, like, what happened? So are we going to do it on the Monday or are we going to skip this Sunday? Like, I literally have this conversation with me, because the bubble bath for me is the place where I soothe. I just light candles. I'm in there just allowing myself to freely think happy thoughts and then just be joyous in that space.
Mm-hmm.
I want it. I need it. Yeah. I want to be relaxed. It's good for me. I love it on a Sundays because Monday I'm rolling and ready to go. And why is this so important? It's important because it energizes you. It energizes you and you want to do more for yourself, which in turn help you do more for your clients and your customers. Mm-hmm. You cannot serve people if you're empty. You have to be filled up to serve people well. If you're getting frustrated easily and you're getting really annoyed easily, pause and see what's happening inside of you, because it's not the people that's frustrating you. It's you. What's going on with you? What are you not happy with? What are you not enjoying? What parts of your relationships are, good morning, Cecilia, what part of your relationships are hurting? And however they're hurting you, how can you start self-soothing so that this don't spill over in these other areas? Like, this is important stuff. Remember when you're taking your kids anywhere, how joyous they get when they know that they're going to this specific place? Like, they're happy. Yes. But then if they go, let's say you have a really great sister and you go there, you got another sister who's a grump, and you tell the kids we're going there, they're like, Mom, can we just stay home? They don't want to go because over there it's all good. Same with
Oh my
yourself,
goodness.
or a friend. Same with yourself. Like if it's
Hmm.
not good there, don't go. If it ache your spirit, don't go. You gotta start being brave for yourself. If you got a friend that you and them are, you really love the person, but some part of their being does something to you, do not go. Don't call them. Say hi very infrequently so that you can keep in your joy space. I'm just saying.
Hmm.
Number three.
Okay. I do not this language, so I am going to
Uh,
I'm going to leave this comment because I'm not sure what it's saying,
okay.
and I'm not being rude, guys. Go ahead.
Okay. So number three is, and this one sometimes when I tell it to people, they might not like it, but it's important. The long
Hmm.
road. Why is wealth creation a long road?
Mm.
You appreciate it more.
Hmm.
The lessons you learn, you can't learn it any other way.
Okay.
It is so important. It is so important to understand that things that you need to learn takes time. The really
Thank you.
important things that you need to learn takes time.
Can you tell people not to beat themselves up because they're trying to add water, stir, and have instant success?
Don't. It takes time. There's no getting there. You know why? Up to this day, university is still 4 years. It's still 4 years to finish your first whatever. The places that tell you you can take 4 years and do it in 6 months, do not pay them any money. Leave. I had a friend took one of those.
Indeed,
And
indeed.
I told her, I said, go back and get your money. She said it's unrefundable. I said, still quit. Leave. She was in the first semester. I said I wanted to leave and go to a regular college. It was a private college. I said, leave and go to a regular college.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
can't help you. I don't care what they tell you. Leave. Get a low paying job and take the time and go to school and learn the things that you truly want to learn. Go learn it. Like her dad had told her, because I was a younger girl at the time. Her dad had told her she wouldn't listen. We were good. We worked together. And I said to her, I said, you got to go to school. You got to go to school for the 4 years for what you want to do. You can't go study finance and auditing and do it in 6 months. I'm sorry to tell you. There's people monies we're talking about. This is years of work. Years of work. Anybody dealing in finance been doing it a long time, or they're mentored under somebody and they're now doing it.
Hmm.
Finance is not an easy thing to just step into and do. So I understand how difficult and hard it is for people to build wealth and see the money grow and do things. I get it. This woman you see in front of you started years ago when it meant nothing like it is today. It just meant making money and putting it over here, making money and putting it over here. And then that's why I said your gift gives you more gifts. And then you ask, well, the money's big over here. So what we do with the money that's over here now? And then we find a new way how to make that money, make more money. But this is a
Hmm.
learned skill over time. And then she fall down and she lost a lot of money. And then she got back up. She said, well, I can't do it that way again. So then she do something different. And then she lost a lot of money. That's the other thing about creating wealth. You're going to lose money along the way. That's why it's a long road.
Hmm.
You're going to lose money when you don't expect to lose money. When you did everything and dot all your I's and cross all your T's, and everything is in order, you're still going to lose money. It's a lesson in itself.
And I want to say this, that a lot of times we think that we're only going to lose money because we're in business. Sometimes life just takes you down roads, whether you're in business or not, whether you're
Yes.
working for someone or
Yes.
whatever's going on financially.
Whatever's going on.
There can
And
be
you, and
there
you,
will be storms.
yeah, there gonna be some storms. I had my first kid at 21. And I couldn't imagine that I would not be able to work for 9 months. And then three
Hmm.
months after, so a year, let me say this. A year and so a year and nearly 5 months, I didn't
Hmm.
work. But I was a good stewardess of money. So for a year, I didn't have to worry about money. I didn't have to
Hmm.
worry about what's gonna happen.
He had some
But it
stuff
still
set
sinked me.
aside.
Yeah. It still sinked me because I wasn't producing at the time. I wasn't actively bringing in money.
Mm-hmm.
And I had other expenses that come out of, that having a kid. Just
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't the thing for, because nobody knows that you're going to be sick, because you get to the doctor and he said 3 months and you're good, Caren. Like, you don't have to worry. And then 6 months later, he said, I don't know what to tell you, but I think it's going to be forever. I think until the baby born, this is what's going to happen.
Put your
So
feet
this
up.
is not,
Yeah.
yeah, this is not only medical bills. This is taxi everywhere. Any doctor's appointment, I needed a driver, period.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even worry about taxi anymore. I literally had to get a driver for the 9 months so that anytime I need him, he was available. And I'm now waiting
Mm-hmm.
on speed dial because I was just a sick person. I was a sick, weak person. I was weighing about 95 pounds. It was ridiculous. I'm very sick when I'm pregnant. And when I got my second kid, they said, well, that's not going to happen again. Really? Same. Same. Didn't work for another year and a half. And so
Mm-hmm.
you don't know when these things are going to happen to you. You don't know when this stuff is going to happen to you. And mine is pregnancy, but it could be anything. And it could be a longer periods of time. And so you might have everything in your brain, but you don't have the physical capacity to do it. And if it wasn't a place where you can find money from, then now you're struggling. And when you start over, you're starting from the bottom again. And if you didn't have any savings or any investment, you're farther down in the route. So you're going to lose, not only because the money, lose money, but from whatever you had saving, from whatever happened along in your life. So well, building creation is not an easy task, but it's doable. I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm saying it because it's factual. And I don't come to the BizChicks and try to give halfway stuff. You get the
So we all need to set aside some savings
Mhm.
and some kind of reserve for unexpected um, situations.
Situation, and we just learn along the way. I mean, the things that when you get a coach, I mean, those are things I ask people about. Do you have money? It's not because I want to know how much you have to charge you more. My price is my price. I
Mhm.
want to know where you're going, who you're listening to, like what's in your ear. I want to know that we are on the same page. We're walking the same walk
Mhm.
because I really want to see you succeed. You know, I talked to a client yesterday and I was just so excited for her with how great she was doing. And she's been my client for a while now. And she was just laughing. She says, Coach, I remember fighting you like crazy. She said, but I could hear you in the back of my mind when I was negotiating with my client on what needs to be. I can just hear you. I can just feel you. And she said I was able to breathe, calm myself, not get too overwhelmed, and just sat there and was able to negotiate, you know, higher than she would have ever negotiated on her own. She would have probably,
Mhm.
she said, I'm not, there's no problem. You know, I probably would take half of what I asked for. Like, there's just no way,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
would think. And she's valuable. What she does is great. But she,
Yes,
she had to grow into that, to that.
because it's not a skill that most of us come with. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Or have had a chance to develop over a
Yeah.
lifetime.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
it's no, I tell people who's now getting into it to understand, if you are $20 an hour person or a $15 an hour person, that's where you need to start. You need to start at your base. I can only receive $15 an hour right now. And then what was my next step up? I can only receive $30 an hour and then $60 an hour. You need to move you, but you got to start where you are right now. Because when you start where you are, you start beating you up. You're not vexed with you anymore. You're appreciating that right now. $15 is what I make an hour. So you're not
Mhm.
beating you up. I make 15.
Yes.
But in the next 30 days, on the next 90 days, whatever that time is, I'm allowing myself to receive $30 an hour because that's where I have to start people. Most people is hard with projects. And then I can get you into the daily and the half day. Like,
Mm.
I can make $200 in a half a day. I mean, the first time I send a proposal to somebody and I told them about my daily rate, this was in consulting, it was in coaching. And she said, so do you do half a days? And because I my budget wouldn't allow the full day, and we settle on half a days 3 times a week because it was an intense um, stuff that I
program.
was doing. Yeah, you know, she
Mhm.
was opening a restaurant. So I was going to be in charge of the budget and all the meal planning because I've done this stuff before. So she really needed all these things to happen. But
Mhm.
she worked with her budget and we did half a days. I told her what half a days look like. A half a day is not 4 hours, by the way. A half a day is 3 hours for me. You know, I work in a 6 hour base. It's not an 8 hour. So
That's interesting. We really need to be clear about what these terms mean. Good morning, Carlos. Carlos has dropped in
Carlos.
here. Hey, Jim, this morning. Yes. Yeah, we do. We need to be very clear about what's
Mhm.
going on.
Yeah, you have
Mhm.
to clear that up with people. They have to know the time. They have to know what, and you want to say when you get to project base, you said this is not hourly. This is just giving you an idea about time. You can say that, and even if they don't understand the language, they get used to it over corresponding time with them. Over time,
Mhm.
you and them start talking now, and they start learning that language. And it's no more about, oh my gosh, I pay her X amount of dollars and she only worked 2 hours today. You're not my employer. You're consulting
Mhm.
with me. This is not, this is a different situation. But if you are the job and you pay it hourly, and this is where you're at, I don't want you to take this and say, well, I'm making a little bit of money. No, this is where you're at right now. Do not beat yourself up, but get yourself set up where you're able to receive more money. And I'm telling you this because that's the path I took. When I first understood that I was not limited to $6.69 an hour, and I can move
Mhm.
my salary from $6.69 an hour to $25 an hour with the other
Mhm.
things I was willing to add,
Yes.
I give myself a raise of pay before the job raised my pay. And so
Mhm.
then I was able to just keep receiving more money.
Yes.
It's really
Carlos
happened.
says you pay for my experience, not my time, and that is so
Exactly.
true. That's so
Yes.
true. They're paying
Yes.
for all the pain that you've already been through.
Hmm.
And I say this to he says here, I used to do paintings for $30,000, which took 2 weeks to a month to do. Okay. Mm-hmm. But you're paying for that experience, that
Yes.
expertise,
Yes.
that
Because when
talent, that
somebody can
gift.
paint, come into paint, I am always in awe of those
Mhm.
guys. They get in there and they will paint a room, paint sand.
Well, it's
What?
probably at $30,000, it's probably murals. What type of painting was it, Carlos? Um, but I'm saying to you that there's so many giftings in us, and we need to really recognize the uniqueness of these gifts.
Yes, you do. You need, that's you have to
Like,
be honest with what the gifts are and not just scramble something because somebody said that's what I'm good at. Are you really? Are you truly? Or that day you was lucky you did well on it, you know? Like if you can't really make fudge,
oh,
but today you got lucky, you made fudge. Are you
mhm.
good at making
He
fudge or
says,
you just
no,
made good
just
fudge today?
he did a small painting for
For
Disney or
Disney.
Warner
Oh,
Brothers. See, it
yes.
depends
Okay.
on the employer what they will, or it depends on the client what they're willing
Carlos
to
is
pay.
is an artist. Oh, I didn't know he was
Mhm.
an artist. Look at that. I didn't know he was an artist.
He is a man of many, many
I know he does
talents.
a lot of things, but I didn't know that part. I didn't know he was an
And
artist.
we started out talking about that, right, Coach? All of
Yes.
these different talents. Don't be afraid to
Yes.
have 10, 20 talents,
Yes.
and that they could all be at
And they
some
use it, they get
bring
used
you.
at different times. I tell people
Exactly.
I could never be broke because unless I want to be. I just could do too many things.
There you
I just
go.
could do too many things
And
to
like
be
you said,
broke.
my daughter and I were talking the other day, and this one idea just bloomed into another idea. This when you were talking about that, how one
Yes.
gift will bring out another gift.
Another
Yeah.
gift. That's how my gifts has worked. It
Mhm,
started off tiny and it just blossomed into different things because I open
mhm,
and allow myself. And even when I can't do something properly, I will
mhm,
practice the heck out of it until I get better. And then once I'm good enough, and if there's a class, I'll take a class. I'll take a course. I will spend
mhm.
time learning what I need to learn if I am not at my peak with it. No shame in me paying somebody to teach me what I need to do.
There you go. Wow. Well, Coach, can you summarize for us what we discussed today?
Okay. So today we talk about we talk already about how are you self-caring yourself. into what we're doing.
Mm,
Like understanding truly what is self-care for you. Don't worry about what anybody tell you on the internet. What is self-care for you? Find it and do it consistently for you,
mm.
for your well-being, for your spiritual being, for your physical being. Get out there and do it, whatever that is. Make sure something physical is included in there. It's important. You need to know that. And understanding that creating wealth is on the long road. There's no snap your fingers. Any get
Yes.
rich quick scheme, it's a scheme. That doesn't mean you can't make money right away. But any get rich quick scheme, it's just
It's
a
just that.
scheme. Oh,
Don't be fooled.
God. Just don't do it.
Mm.
But once you know yourself, as we were talking about, you smell
Mhm.
it a mile away. The minute somebody start talking to you about something that doesn't feel right. I was a teenager when I got I got canned into the pyramid scheme where you drop
Oh,
$5 and other people drop it and somebody at the top make the money and
yeah.
you're working with them. And I went to the first meeting, me and my mom. And we sat in the meeting and we paid our money. And I left the meeting saying to my mom, you know, we just lost some money, right? She said, what are you talking about? I said, we just lost some money because we went in. The person said we can do $5, but we can double it up. And me being what could I say, wanting to make more, I paid $20. I went in 4 times around. So did my mom. So we lost $40 that night. And I said
But
to
you
her,
learned a lot.
yes, I'm not going back to any meetings. I'm not showing up again. And this is it. I'm gonna
It was a
cut my
million dollar
losses.
lesson. Did you hear me? It was $1 million lesson that cost you $40.
Yes,
Not bad.
not bad,
Not
not
bad.
bad, not
There was
bad.
no
You're
loss there.
right. You're right because a few other people contacted us and their fee was more. But once they give me the spiel, I was like, here we go again.
I recognize this. I've seen this animal before. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Guys.
Whew. Well, we have been having some exciting lessons about 6-week wealth creation. Um, guys, if you haven't been watching, you need to go back and watch the last 2 weeks where Coach started talking about this and catch up because the the changing of the mind, the mindset is so important. And that's what we're working on here. Your money mindset coach, Coach Caren Fern,
Yes,
starting from 0 to 6-week creation is what we've been doing for the last couple of
yes,
weeks here with
yes,
the BizChicks. And we
yes.
want to thank you, Coach, for all
Oh,
that you
you're
do.
welcome.
We
You're
will
welcome.
be continuing this discussion
Next
next
week.
Wednesday. Yes, next week.
You know, yeah.
He says there's more to come. There
Yes,
is
yes,
more to
yes.
come.
We're doing this. We're
Don't
doing it.
miss it.
We're getting
Don't
it.
miss
We're getting it all set up.
That's right. And we encourage you to share this out with your friends and also to subscribe over to our BizChicks YouTube channel, and you'll be able to get the replays there also. Coach Caren can be found on the web everywhere under Profits in Daily.
Mhm.
So, with that, we want to remind you to go to the front of your
None
own
of your own
line.
line.
And if you're looking to be a part of the BizChicks community, just go to bizchicks.net, put in your profile. We'd love to have you be a part of our community. We want to thank you for sharing. We want to thank you for subscribing. And we want to thank you for being a part of today's conversation. And Coach, we want to thank you again for all that you do and let you know that you are appreciated and loved. Have a great day, everyone. And we will see you soon. Bye-bye.